Welcome back to my petting zoo, full of marketing pet peeves I've collected from all around the world for you to see. This time we're looking at a mythical book, or rather, I don't actually have the book. I'm not sure if it is a book. It just seems like there must be a book because so many marketing people recite the same exact words in the same exact situation, and it really seems like something that comes from a religious book, so I'm assuming there is one. We're focused on one specific myth in the book. It's a very alluring myth, and a lot of people want to believe in it so hard that even if there's more red flags than at a Communist Party's event, they still choose to believe in it. It's known as the Book of It's Quick and Easy, Anyone Can Do It. Now, if you want to find this myth in the wild, the easiest way to find it is to look for a sales funnel expert and just wait for them to start selling their own sales funnel product. You know you're getting really close to getting to experience the myth firsthand when they start saying things like, if you don't maximize the effectiveness of your funnel, you're going to be hopelessly left behind by your competition. Or if they say, this super cool new tool that you can't find anywhere else enables you to, and then just fill in the blank. Or if they say, all you need to do is plug in your own information and the system takes care of the rest. Then you're really about to hear the, it's quick and easy, anyone can do it. Clearly this book has circulated more widely than just through the marketing world. All sorts of dating advice gurus, health coaches, people who apparently know how to cure otherwise incurable diseases have also found the same book and are reciting the same verses from it. But back to the sales funnel gurus, because that's what this petting zoo is about. Now, the problem really isn't that their sales funnels couldn't work very well. They can be very, very effective. They have the potential for that. The problems are elsewhere. The problems are that, first of all, it's very complicated to build them. I mean, I know they say it's quick and easy, anyone can do it, but that's the myth. It's very much not quick and easy for most people. There are the few people who can get through the whole process relatively quickly, like in a month or so, but that's an exception. The biggest problem is that it takes really long to build those things. If you ask them, I mean, they won't probably tell, but if you get to talk with them privately or you hear them talk privately about their own funnels with other people in the industry, they'll probably tell you that it took them 3 to 6 months to build their own sales funnel. And that's even though they've spent a lot of money to hire other companies to do all the most time-consuming parts, often copywriting, video recording and editing, funnel page setup, affiliate management, all these things that can take a lot of time. They've just outsourced advertising, email writing, all that stuff that takes the most time and is usually the most difficult for someone who isn't an expert in sales funnel building. They have just gotten someone else to do it, and it still takes them several months to get finished. So imagine putting someone who isn't a seasoned sales funnel expert to try to do the same. It takes a lot of time and it's not easy. And certainly not just everyone can do it. Sure, people can technically get through the steps, even if they are not good at writing copy, even if their product is bad and so on, but they're not going to see any results. But even if you get the whole thing done, let's say it takes you 3 months or it takes you 6 months, let's say you get it done, you're still very unlikely to see good results because there's so many things that can go wrong in a funnel that complex. And in a lot of the funnels, that means that the entire thing is broken. It's more like a chain where if one link is broken, then it's just a broken chain. Like it doesn't matter if every other link is perfectly polished. And because it's so complex, it's usually very difficult to figure out what the problem is or where it even is. I mean, I've done years of conversion optimization, and whenever I've gotten into that situation where someone with a very complex sales funnel asks me to look at their funnel and figure out what's wrong, even with all the data in the world, it can be very difficult to find the problem or even where the problem is, and much harder than that to figure out why there is a problem so that you would even know what you're trying to fix. And let's say you figure it out. Let's say you figure out where the problem is and why there is a problem. If it's that complex, you probably need to change like 7 different things, and that's going to be a huge other project again. So overall, it's going to take you very long to start seeing any results, and if the results aren't immediately amazing, it's going to take even more time to figure out why they aren't amazing and what you can do about it, and then do something about it. The alternative is that you build something that's very simple and just fits your situation very well. So it's mostly based on what has already worked for you or what's easy for you. You avoid things that are very difficult for you or things you don't feel comfortable with. You get it done much faster and with a lot less pain and headaches. You're more likely to get it done well so that it actually works right off the bat. And if there is some issue, it's much easier to pinpoint and fix. So you can optimize it much more effectively and much more quickly. So by the time you could have gotten that mega funnel built, you've already had, I don't know, 2 months of optimization time where you've already increased the results significantly from the simple funnel, and you're still able to improve it further. And besides, you can add all the complex things one by one later on into the simple funnel, so you get the best of both worlds. Now, to be fair, there's always a wide range in how quickly people implement what they learn in a product or in an online course, for example. It's the same with a book. You know that a lot of people read a book and only a few people actually implement what is in the book. And that's fine. And that just happens. It's not really your responsibility to force people into implementing something. You should just make it as quick and easy as you reasonably can, and then be honest about how quickly it happens, or what is the typical time it takes for someone to implement. So as an example of the range, I have a product called 6-Figure Website that goes through, well, how do you make a website truly effective, not just make it look pretty and function technically, but what makes it effective at generating leads and sales. Most people who have gotten it done took a bit over a week to do it. That's the typical time it takes for people to finish it. And it's not like they just powered through it morning to evening every day, like it was reasonable time frame every day. But a little over a week seems to be the typical time it takes for people to do it. Now, there's always a wide range in how quickly people implement what you teach them, whether it is in an online product, in coaching, or in a book, or something else. And that's fine. Clearly, some people will take more time than others. What I think is most important is to be honest about how long does it take typically for those who just decide to do it. Not like power through it by not sleeping until they're done, but like reasonably work on it and just get it done as a priority now. For example, I have a product called 6-Figure Website that goes through how do you make your website actually effective at generating leads and sales instead of just looking pretty and technically fancy. And typically, most of the people who actually go through it do it in a little over a week. That's the most typical time it takes for people to be done. But then there are those who do it way faster because they just power through it. Those are very much an exception, but it's possible to do it much faster. And then there are a few of those who don't just completely leave it, but rather they just progress very slowly. They work a little bit on it today and then a little bit more sometime next week and so on. And then it obviously takes a couple months, or even I think someone took 4 months to do it. So there is a wide range, but I think what is the point is to tell people how quick and easy is it for the typical person who actually just decides to do it, because it is up to them to decide to implement. Another example related to sales funnels is how long it takes my clients to do it. Typically it's 2 to 6 weeks, and most commonly 4 weeks. That's the most common option, but 2 to 6 weeks covers about 98% of my clients, or maybe 95% of the clients. A few people do it even faster in about a week, even less than a week, but that's very much an exception. And some people take much longer, not because the funnels would be much more complicated or because it would be more difficult for them to do, but rather it's a prioritization question in at least almost every single case where it is gonna take a lot longer. They work a little bit on it today and then a little bit next week and a little bit maybe a couple weeks later. So obviously that's gonna take a very long time. But back to the book of it's quick and easy and anyone can do it. I think it's true in some cases. There are certainly things that are quick and easy and almost anyone can do it. And if that's the case, then obviously you can say that. But let's reserve that claim to things that truly are like that. I think generally you set up much better expectations if you are honest about how long does it typically take for people to go through something and implement it. If you sell something where it's gonna take a longer time but the results are amazing, people are still gonna do it. Sure, you're not gonna get some people to buy it who would have bought it if they thought it's much easier, and you might even not, maybe they wouldn't all have asked for a refund, so you end up making a little more money by more or less misleading people, but I mean, just rather make products that are quick and easy enough for people to want to buy them. But let's start moving on to the next enclosure. If you have any questions or comments about the book of It's Quick and Easy and Anyone Can Do It, you can leave them below and I'll do my best to come and respond. I'm not sure yet which direction we're gonna take. There's all sorts of weird creatures and things to see, and if you want to get a free season ticket, all you need to do is click the subscribe button and you'll see the entire petting zoo soon enough. If you found this one interesting, please click the like button. It's very helpful to me, so I appreciate it, and I'll see you at the next stop. Believe in it. It's not even that funny. It's more red flag that a lot of people, this is gonna take forever, so hard that even more red flags that myth, red flags, Communist Party's event, they still choose to believe in it. Yes. How the joke really doesn't sound that good after I've thought of it 20 times.